Okay, second grade, we're going to be creating our beautiful little background for the silhouette of our horse today. And then we'll be practicing our silhouette of a horse with black paint. We're actually going to be practicing it with the black paint. And then the next week we'll go ahead and lay in our black horse and the trees or the grass in the bottom. All right, so today you have a black piece of paper. You have blue, purple, red, and yellow chalks that we're going to use to create this beautiful background. Now if you notice, I go from darkest and I move down into the lightest. This is a sunset, so my lighter colors are going to be at the bottom. The sun's down here, so the lightest colors are going to be at the bottom. As a matter of fact, we're only going to add stars to the darker part because in real life, the lighter part of the sky, you wouldn't be able to see very many stars. We're only going to see the stars in the darker parts of the sky. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our lightest colors today. And at the very bottom, we're going to add yellow. Now, if you notice, all of these colors are going to be next to each other on the color wheel. We're going to go in order. We're going to go around. And that's okay. I don't have an orange. I'm going to have a red, but that's okay. If my red and my yellow mix a little, it's okay. It's just going to give me a really pretty orange, so that's okay. So we're going to start out with the yellow. And at the very bottom of the page, you're just going to do a section. And what I'm going to do is, this is very important, we're not going to be writing with the chalk. The look we're going for is very translucent. That means it's almost see-through. We just want like a little mist of color. We don't want really dark, opaque color on our paper. That means it's not see-through. We just want a very nice little light. We want some of that black to show through. Okay? So you're going to put it on its side and you're just going to do a section, a very small section of where the sun is going to be at the very bottom of the page going down. Okay? Now my next color is going to be, I don't have an orange and that's okay. I'm going to do red. That's okay if my red and my yellow mix a little bit. So now I'm going to do a section of red. And maybe I want my section of red to be a little bit bigger. That's okay, I can do that. Okay, now I'm going to go into my next color, which is going to be my purple. Look at the one that's right next to red, purple. Now I'm going to go into my purple. Ooh, that's a pretty purple. Beautiful. Maybe I want a section about that big. Perfect. Then I'm going to go into my blue. Lay my blue at the top. All right. Now we're not done. What we're going to do now is we're going to blend. Now, although this is kind of pretty, it doesn't look like a sky, does it? No, Miss Rucker, it does not look like a sky. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a tissue. Now, here's the important thing when we work with chalk. You want to start blending from your lightest color into your darkest color. If I start blending my blue, what's going to happen by the time I get down to my yellow? I'm going to lose that really pretty yellow color. So I actually want to move from my lightest color up into my darkest color. That's okay if I get some of this yellow up in this red, or some of this red up into this pretty purple, or some of this purple up into the blue. What I don't want to do is pull the blue down into these lighter colors, or even the purple, that dark color. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to wrap my finger around my tissue, and I'm just going to gently massage. Look at that pretty, pretty, pretty sky. Gently massage. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to start massaging the red. Blending it together, and that's okay if some of that red comes down into the yellow. That's okay. And now I'm going to start massaging the purple. Again, that's okay if some of the red gets up into the purple. I'm smoothing this out. I'm blending it just like I would paint. Now I'm going to blend up into the blue. I'm making sure I'm getting all of it blended. I want to touch every single part of that chalk and blend it out. Now what you don't want to do now is take your dirty tissue and go down into your yellow. You're going to lose it. So you should have something that looks about like this. This is a beautiful sky. The dark kind of shows through. I love it. Pretty. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a few stars. You will have some little watered down white paint and a paintbrush. But today we're going to actually use a technique called the back of the paintbrush technique. We're going to actually create some stars just by using the back of the paintbrush. We're going to dip our paintbrush probably no more than one time. Okay, you don't want too many of these stars. Okay, and we're just going to go to like our darker sections and we're just going to randomly lay stars. And we're just going to keep doing this until we get no more stars, because this is actually a perfect look that we're going for. We want some bigger stars, some smaller stars, some medium stars. And as my back of my paintbrush runs out of paint, it's going to give me that exact look that I'm looking for. If I keep dipping it and dipping it onto my paper, I'm going to be getting a lot of these large stars. I don't want a lot of large stars. I want a variety of sizes. If you want to hold it on its side, you can do that. If I want to bring a couple of little small ones into the red, I can. You might see some stars in the red, but probably not in the yellow section. So we definitely want to keep the stars in the darker sections. And then this is what your background is going to look like. Next week, we're going to be adding the horse, and we're going to be adding some trees or bushes, some silhouettes of trees or bushes down here at the bottom. Okay, when you're done with this, you will need to put this on the drying rack because we have to let our stars dry, and we don't want to touch them. We don't want to flatten them out. We want to make them look nice. We want to leave them nice and round. Okay, so now next we will be practicing our horse. We're going to practice the silhouette with paint. I told you it would be a little easier than drawing it. Okay, have fun.